saw a Wendigo, and I wish I hadn't. I need to write this down. I need to write this down before I convince myself it didn't happen. This happened in December last year. I was visiting my uncle in northern Minnesota near the Canadian border. He's the kind of guy who prefers solitude, lives in a cabin deep in the woods, no close neighbors, just trees and whatever lives in them. I never minded visiting. I like the quiet, but after that night, I don't think I'll ever go back. It was the coldest night of the year, at least -30 Fahrenheit. That's awful.
Minnesota.
My uncle had gone to town for supplies, so I was alone. The cabin was warm, the fire was cracking, and I was scrolling on my phone when I heard it. Something moving outside. Not footsteps, more like dragging. Slow, deliberate. At first, I thought it was the wind, but then came the knock. Not at the door, at the window. 3 slow, deliberate taps. I froze. My uncle's nearest neighbor was miles away, and no sane person would be out in that cold. The knocking came again. I reached for my flashlight and shined it through the window. I wish I hadn't. There was something standing beyond the tree line. It was tall, at least 7 or 8 feet, but emaciated with long, bony limbs. Its skin looked frostbitten, almost blackened, and its eyes were glowing. Not reflecting light, glowing on their own, like embers of a dying fire. I should have looked away. I should have closed the curtains, but I was frozen, staring, unable to breathe, and then it smiled. Its teeth were too many, too sharp, stretching across its face. It opened its mouth wider than any human should. Then it spoke.
Let me in.
Or do you think it was like, let me in?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Let me in. The voice didn't match the body. Ooh, who was right?
Oh, you see? There you go. Yep.
Mm-hmm. The voice didn't match the body. It sounded wrong. Like a record playing at the wrong speed. Too deep, too garbled. I ran. I grabbed my uncle's rifle, locked the door, and backed into the farthest corner of the room. The knocking stopped, but I could hear the scraping against the walls outside. Slow and patient, like it had all the time in the world. I sat there for what felt like hours, rifle shaking in my hands until my uncle finally came back. The second his headlight swept across the trees, the noises stopped. He found me pale, sweating, and gripping the gun like my life depended on it. I told him everything. He didn't say a word, just nodded and checked around the cabin. When he came back, he looked unsettled. There's no tracks in the snow, he said. Nothing. It was impossible. I heard it. I saw it. But there was nothing outside. No footprints, no marks on the walls, just untouched snow and silent watching trees. I left them next morning and I haven't been back since. My uncle still lives there, but he told me something before I left. If you ever hear it again, he said, don't look, and whatever you do, don't let it in. I haven't told anyone else until now, but I know what I saw, and I still know it's out there.
Okay. I would like to say, not to say that this isn't real. However, it sounds exactly like a No Sleep story that I listened to on the No Sleep podcast years ago.
Yeah.
And it was literally like one of their season finale stories. And it was about a guy who got snowed in at a cabin and handprints kept getting put all over the windows. Somebody kept knocking at the door and was like, let me in, let me in, let me in. And he kept hearing the voices like the whole time. And it was all like mismatched voices. And he had to like hide in, and all he had was like a rifle, but there was nothing to shoot. And then when he looked out in the snow, there was no footprints. Same thing. It's exactly, I'm like, that's the same story. That's the same story.
Okay, guys, 69. Have you been, this was posted 2 months ago, so.
But this writing is so fictional.
Okay, I'm sorry some people like did great in their writing classes.
I was a really good writer back when I was in school. Now I suck.
I painted a picture with my words.
Same. It was beautiful. A masterpiece. Yeah. Now it's the child's drawing. Stick figures.
Now I'm like, and I tell you what, boy. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. That was some scary shit.
Literally, it was like so scary, like made me so scared. And I was really scared, like literally scared.
It's crazy.
LMFAO.
Yeah.
So I end all my, if I'm like sending a scary story, it's always LMFAO or hee hee.
And then I almost died.
So I had this really awful nightmare last night where I relived all of my traumas. Hee hee.
Just girly things.
No, but I mean, if it's real, that's scary. However,
Yeah.
I can't not think of the no sleep story.
I'm so curious.
I guess we'll never know, to be honest. We'll probably never know the answer to that.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a Wendigo.
Are Wendigos even in Minnesota?
Okay, so here's the biggest, it's related, I promise, but we're going to take a side street for a second. The biggest conspiracy theory that I think could totally be true, but I know it sounds nuts, is that like national parks and things like that were built to keep things in.
Yes.
So if you're on the Canadian border, some of those things could just be more so there.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have proper tracking of where all the Wendigos are.
Or do we?
Do we? Like,
Yeah.
answer us, do we?
Somebody tell me.
Yeah, I don't. I've never seen convincing footage of Sasquatch, so also
Yeah,
get
it's
me some of
always
that.
blurry. It's
Yeah.
all the footage of every cryptid is always filmed on a Nokia from 2004.
Yeah,
You're
the
like-
amount of technology we have now. Shoot it in 4K so we can punch it.
You're telling me there are actually a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there are people, content creators, YouTubers and stuff that are going out into the wild looking for.
Huh?
I actually have not seen anything from this creator. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know. Maybe they have been posting. I don't know. But there was a guy on TikTok, 2020, 2021, somewhere in that time, who was trying to get possessed. He was doing everything that he possibly could to get possessed because he's like, I want to prove that it's not real. And so he was having TikTok lives where he would sit and he would do like summoning circles and like all this crazy shit. And he'd be like, come get me. Somebody know where he's at? I would like to know where he's
I
at.
want to know. I want to know so badly.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
never wanted to know anything anymore.
I'm gonna pin this in my memory for after we're done so I can look it up. Because
Bing.
yeah, I would like to know. But
That is insane. Because even if it's like, if you don't believe it, even if it's not true, why tempt it?
he's really committed. I guess he's like, what's
The
the worst
audacity
that
of a
can
man.
happen? Yeah, right? He's like, nobody's gonna fucking hurt me. I'm a man. I'm a white man.
Yeehaw.
He's like, nothing will ever hurt me. I'm
I bet
free
he's
and
so
clear.
possessed right now. Yeah. We'll look into that one.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Next story.
Pain
I'm
is the
hungry.
same. Maybe I don't want to live in pain.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?